RMDY Academy has been going incredibly. Obviously, I sit in with the students, I listen to their cases that they're bringing back. Really where I'm lit up is hearing how they got to their prescriptions. You know, they've really done the work, they've gone through their notes, they've pulled out the symptoms, they've found the rubrics, and just to see the level that they're at, most of them so far are halfway through the course. To imagine where they're going to be in 1 year, to imagine where they will be in 10 years, 20 years, it's going to be the biggest blessing to the world, these students, and everybody who comes after them. And I was thinking recently, Peter and I, before we started this 2-year course with Jean, we had been doing a short course, mainly trying to gear it at like naturopaths or health professionals who maybe would want to incorporate a little bit of homeopathy into their practice. And so we did a little short course, and that, you know, was so popular, and people were then demanding, you know, we just need to know more and we really want to learn from you guys. They loved the way, I think, Peter is just so incredible with all of his knowledge, the wisdom, and it's the way that he shares it, and it's his years and years, I mean decades of clinical experience, that he can be with the students and he can say to them, well, tell me, why are you prescribing this remedy like a podium and not sulfur? And he plays with them, you know, and he's so fun for them. He's one of a kind, definitely. But when we'd completed that practitioner course and we were chatting, I was on a family holiday, I was watching my kids in the swim pool, and we were contemplating this idea. We'd been throwing the idea back and forth of, should we really create a 2-year course and make it as best as we possibly can? Both of us obviously passionate about sharing homeopathy with the world, but it was on that day and I said to Peter, oh, Peter, like I'm kind of tired. Hey, you know, I'm here on holidays with my family and it would be a lot of work. Like, I'm just not really sure like that I want to fully commit to that. And he said to me, oh my goodness, Melissa Kupsch, this is the first time I have ever heard you falter. And I was like, falter? I'm not faltering. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a lot of work, and if we're going to do it, I want to have you completely like backing me up. Like, you've got to be there the whole way. I do not want to take this on my own. And he said, you know, I promise, if you do this, I will be completely there. Jean and I will have your back completely. We'll shoulder this together. You know, we can really share this with the world. And I said, all right, cool. All right, it's done. I'll do it. And I think probably it was that night that I said to Instagram, look, all right, it's a go ahead. The team is on board. Then since we started working with Jean and Peter, and honestly, I could not think in the world of all the homeopaths I know, 2 people better fitted for RMDY Academy and their roles there. And since that evolved, then we now have a tutor team of 8 international homeopaths from around the world who join the students and share their knowledge. And that's just the tutors. Then you add in the guest lecturers that we have been blessed to meet. And for me, when I think back to that moment at the swimming pool when I was on holidays, and to think, if I had not taken this step, if I had not just leapt into it and thought, right, we can figure it out between us, we've got all of the resources, all of the knowledge, we can do this, and just been, I guess, brave and slightly crazy in that moment to say, let's do it, I would not get to sit with all of these guest lecturers. I would not get to be completely immersed in homeopathy the way that I have always dreamed of. And, you know, I've said it to the students before, but when I first found homeopathy, I was sitting, you know, in a cafe, and I had borrowed out from the local library all of the homeopathic books that I could find. And I'm reading through them, and it's like, I felt like I'd found the Holy Grail. I'm like, what is this medicine? How has it been hidden from me, you know, for my first 21 years of life? And it was just this exciting, passionate obsession, frankly. I loved it so much. And I know that it's not just a me thing, because you talk to any homeopath, you talk to our student homeopaths, it takes you over, this love, this fascination, that it's this understanding of the world and vibration and how human beings operate that, to be honest, the rest of the world is not privy to. They don't realize what they don't know until you see it, and you get just the deepest insight into humanity, into nature, into life. And it's something that, you know, you're just so blessed. You're blessed if you learn it. You're blessed if you know it. I'm just so grateful for whatever reason that God brought me on this path, that I found it. And then to be in a position where I get to share it with others, and I might be just this first little, you know, domino in their life that leads them to find homeopathy. Maybe they buy a kit, they have it in their home, and one thing leads to another, and I guarantee you the trajectory of people's lives when they have encountered homeopathy, especially if they've had a personal experience with a prescription of their own. So they've really seen it. It comes alive for you. And it's unlike, you know, anything else in this world. And so, yeah, I really thank God that I was brave enough to say, all right, let's do it. Thank you, Peter. I will not falter. And I will say that for these years that Peter and I and Jean have spent together, developing curriculum, celebrating our students and their wins, and just our belief that what is happening in RMDY Academy is quite literally going to influence the rest of the world. And that is a big call, and it's a true one. And, you know, 5 years ago when I was a stay-at-home mum with my 3 boys, and I would be looking around at this world that I find myself in. I find myself raising kids in this world, and in so many ways it's not living up to the best of humanity and what we can do. And I found myself, you know, listening to other podcasters and people with, you know, their opinions and their desires for change. And I really thought to myself, like, how can I honestly do anything that makes any difference? And to see where the path can lead you if you are just open to be led and just saying, I'll go wherever, you know, where would you have me? Who would you like me to speak to today? What influence can I have? And being grateful for every single little step. And believe me when I tell you, it started very slowly. It started with the guy at the Pilates studio that I went to, and he said, I'm gonna do a little health summit and about 10 people are gonna come if you wanna come and do a presentation on homeopathy. And it's saying yes to every little opportunity along the way, every conversation I can have with someone, and they seek me out. Doesn't matter where I am. If I'm buying a kebab in the middle of the valley after an event and I start talking to the guy and he says, why are you all dressed up? I say, oh, I've just been to an event about homeopathy. He says, homeopathy, oh my gosh. He says, my sister's a homeopath overseas. And he said, can you help me? You know, I've got tinnitus, I need something. These conversations follow me everywhere. The world is ready for homeopathy, and we are getting ready for the world.